Time to review round 6. Because you're so disappointed, let's start with the Crows. We'll start on a good note with the glass half full before we get to the glass completely empty. And I don't know if you saw the Crows' performance Saturday night. Certainly their best for a year. Genuine opponent. Finals-like game. Sydney played well. Crows played a little bit better.
I made the call Sunday night in our game that it is unmeasurable what winning will do for you. Now, yes, they said only played GWS and Gold Coast and Port Adelaide and all that, but you won it. And winning breeds confidence. And confidence, they go, oh, all it is confidence. You know how hard that is to get? He got that out of winning those early games and having a pre-season that matched it. All of a sudden you go to Sydney and Sydney, chest out, and performed accordingly, and all those things that you want your players to do are happening.
Genuine belief they did. Had a couple of stars, half-time games in the balance. You just get the feeling Sydney had a little bit of momentum. Crows needed somebody to stand up and just
and
change
they'll
the
never go
course.
away either, do they?
They don't go away. Dangerfield was the man.
Gotham City.
Oh, something like calls. Was that the wife, was it?
Yeah.
You in trouble again? Paddy Dangerfield was the question. Half-time, Crows needed somebody just to change momentum. His first 10 minutes of that third quarter, outstanding.
He's lifted another gear now, isn't he? It's just like everybody was sort of expecting it to happen maybe a bit earlier, but now it has. They've gone, right, that's the progression that we all expected. So he's very comfortable with it as well. Responsibility suits him beautifully. Called it the best win of his career. There were a couple of other really significant moments from a couple of players. For me, I thought Taylor Walker, his best game ever in Crows colours. Quality opposition. Teddy Richards had held Franklin goals the week before. Taylor kicks 5, but he chases, he presented, he hit the footy hard. Just had a great all-round game. Had a run down as well. Had a run down, had a tackle. In a forward, but isn't it amazing, 2 weeks ago, people were saying, should he stay in the lineup? And please, I mean, I've been a fan for a long time because he done some damage to me as a coach, but I've really seen him grow, especially this season. He's a leading goal kicker in the comp, so please just keep it going, keep those little things happening, and he'll have a great season. Jared Petrenko was the other one I thought. A couple of contested marks against quality opposition, then to ice the goal. Given that he'd been knocked out the week before, it was just a fantastic performance from a young man. He's chock full of confidence as well. His game against the Power was probably as good as I'd seen until this week when he follows it up and does it again. So that's important in a young player too, to keep following up. Get the consistency now that he's had a few seasons under his belt. So he's very important to the Crows at the moment. Very important. Big game against Geelong this week. Do you give them any chance of winning? Oh look, I do, because I don't think Geelong have really set the world on fire this year. Last year I thought they were just a ruthless machine and were just going about crunching people and doing their job. This year they're just off the ball at the moment, haven't really got... Bit of Hollywood about them at the moment. Yeah, it hasn't really been what you would expect of them, so I would say that a genuine chance, and they struggled against Melbourne. I mean, they won by 6 goals, but, you know, didn't try. Yeah, there wasn't a lot in it, so I think a big chance and to continue the momentum. You don't want to stop it. Of course, that game 12:45, I reckon, Amy Stadium before Black Caviar, so you'll be able to race down and see, get your $20 on Black Caviar again and make you 20 cents so you can buy a packet of Chewies. It's time. It's not Groundhog Day though this week, is it? No, it wasn't. It's not Groundhog Day. No. It's worse. It was worse than that because there was a distinct lack of intensity right from the beginning, and you sort of went in at quarter time and thought, rightio, coaches will give them a bit of a slap and fire up. Worst second quarter since 2011, and you know, 2011, you can't forget how bad some of those performances were. Collingwood, Hawthorn, and everybody forgets the 10-goal-to-1 first quarter against the Bulldogs, which was a horror as well. So, not forgetting that second quarter was really disappointing. To have 19-2 inside 50s against was, well, you shouldn't be playing in the AFL if that's going to be the case. The skill level is just appalling, and then when we lose the footy, the work rate to get it back is non-existent. Not tackling. Not tackling, not chasing down, none of those things that are happening, and not getting enough of it. And I think it was 57 hit-outs to 27. Ivan Marek walked all over them and treated them with disdain, and that is disappointing in itself, again. That you're not going to get first look at it like that either. Coach is under the pump. Back page of the paper. Oh, yes. It's time to go. Is it time to go? Probably hard for you to say. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and just the fact is that, and I think I made the statement earlier today, and you've coached and you know what it feels like when you're on the pump not winning. There is not a coach in the history of the game that doesn't want his club or his team to do well. Now, if you think they're working against you and doing it on purpose, you're kidding yourself. And sometimes what happens out on the field, well, most of the time, is that the coach hasn't instructed them to miss that target, to not chase, to not tackle. They don't instruct them to do those things, believe me. Now, the playing group sometimes has to take responsibility. And I'm looking for people to stand up and be leaders on the field. Not just the bloke with number 1 on his back, but a lot of them to stand up and support one another. They are good friends, they are a close group, but now they've got to do it on the field when it counts.
Was there any positives out of the game? Was there one positive you could take out of that game? Or do you just scrap it, wipe it, and refocus on this weekend? What do you do?
No, it was a 2011-like performance, so there wasn't anything to gain out of that one. Other games, yes, but not this one. It was back to really bad habits.
Can you do anything at the selection table to improve it quickly?
Look, Matt Thomas does those 1%er stuff, so I'd like to see him back in there doing that and encouraging others to do that. So I think he would help a little bit. I think we may have to look at who goes through the midfield, because it's not happening with the current bunch. Now, that doesn't mean that they come out completely, but perhaps throw a surprise element in. I've liked...
Come on, give me one. Give me
Jacob Surgeon. Jacob Surgeon has played in the middle before, and he gives you a bit of bite. I think Brad Ebert will come back in this week, which means he plays forward. But if it's having a quiet period, get him in the middle. Porter only averaging something in the 30s for inside 50s. You don't win games with that. You've got to be at 50 and above, and they just don't get to that number. So therefore, you can blame forwards. But I tell you, Johnny Butcher and all that, they must have got pneumonia waiting for it to come inside 50 in the second term. It was just horrendous.
Now, this time last week, you gave me a nice carton of Heineken. It's all gone. It's all gone. This week...
Don't be thinking you're having another bet with me.
No, I'm not. You don't pay out for Port Adelaide losing. You win. You have a financial gain by your club. I know you had a bet on Richmond. I know you backed Richmond.
Oh, I did on purpose, yeah, but you know what? They buggered me up because they won by 37. I backed them to 24.
So you lose again.
So I've had a shocking weekend. I tried to do the jinx on them and it didn't work. Well, they jinxed me.
You're smiling though.
I'm not smiling. I'm in agony.
See you next week.